So this will be a bit of a later video than I wanted to. And I don't know when the next video is coming out, but we're going to be exploring 4 builds for Amanda Fisher. Now this to me is kind of a controversial character, because most people do not play her into how her power works. So most of the hunters deal really good range weapon damage. Says so on the left right there, hunters inflict more range weapon damage, which means that they deal what that actually breaks down to is they deal 50% more range weapon damage than the number that's listed on the actual gun. So most of the time your best range weapon is going to go to one of your hunters. Now, every hunter has a mastery. Hunter Ash specializes in the double barrel at level 25. Specifically the double barrel, not the boomstick. And Getley at level 10 gets crossbow, which is both the regular crossbow and now the explosive crossbow. Kelly is kind of the melee one of the bunch. She specializes in the meat hammer. She doesn't have a gun. She can kind of play any gun that she wants to. And Amanda specializes in the pistol. Now, there's only 2 handgun options in the game. One being the pistol and one being the revolver. And the main reason why I bring this up is because the other 2 characters you can kind of spec into their designated weapon. Now, in the case of Ash, the double barrel is one of the best guns in the game. Hands down, it is right up there with the rest of the shotgun caliber weapons as being a really good gun. Also, at level 10, you spawn with the shotgun. Now, at level 10 with Hunter Ash, you don't have to play around the double barrel, because, yes, you start with it, but if you like the boomstick or the regular shotgun better, you can just ditch the double barrel once you get access to it. However, once you hit level 25, passing up on the double barrel that you start with is actually a bad idea unless you find another upgraded weapon, because your weapon mastery gives you such a massive bonus compared to the other guns. A similar vein would be Ed. Now, the crossbow is a little bit of a harder to use weapon. The explosive crossbow does help compensate for that, but the explosive crossbow trades off long range damage potential as a sniper for AoE potential and being a little bit more foolproof. You can kind of just use it as a close range shotgun, if you will. But even then, you can still build him around his ideal crossbow. And if you don't like the crossbows, you can kind of just skip the weapon mastery and play around his other abilities, because his active power is good, and his collector ability is good. And Kelly, like I said, can use any gun. Amanda has this thing where, so she starts the game with a pistol, and at level 10 she gets the weapon mastery for the pistol. And it does increase the odds a lot. If you end up liking the pistol as a range weapon, Amanda's going to be your go-to of choice. And her level 25 power can really only benefit for 3 weapons in the game. There's only 3 weapons that legitimately benefit from this ability. That's the pistol, the lever action, and the saw gun. You can make an argument that the shotgun and the revolver could be used here, but I'm going to mention a couple of things. 1, the saw gun you're not using for damage, so accuracy counts is worthless. 2, the shotgun deals such high damage anyways, and the thing that you have to look at is that you're really only getting value out of the shotgun if it's a legendary shotgun, which takes up to 7 rounds. Because then you can stack your damage bonuses to the same that your pistol would give you. The lever action, again, a legendary lever action is 7 rounds, but the lever action damage isn't really that great. Another thing you have to look at is the 3 types of ammo that are used. So, there is long gun ammo, handgun ammo, and special weapon ammo. All 3 of the hunters that have weapon masteries are based around different guns. So, like I said, Hunter Ash uses the double barrel, which is a long gun. Ed uses the crossbow, which is special. And then Amanda has the pistol. Now, most of your warriors are going to spec into a long arm, particularly a shotgun, sometimes a high rarity blunderbuss or a high rarity crossbow, because of the fact that they don't have as much range damage, so they're just trying to get more damage than possible. Leaders are kind of picky. They can kind of use whatever gun they want to use, because they're the number 2 for range weapon damage behind you. The supports are going to pick up whatever's available. Usually they're going to pick up something a bit more long range. Not a lot of people like using handgun ammo. And if you have a lot of people, I actually had a game today where I was playing Ed and had a legendary crossbow and was 3rd place in damage because I had somebody on my team that was also using the explosive crossbow, so I was having to fight them for ammo, even though I literally have the crossbow mastery and a legendary weapon. We weren't, because they had the explosive crossbow, we couldn't share ammo. So it's oftentimes the hunter needs to prioritize making sure that they have ammo for their weapon at all times. And with the handgun class, between the pistol and the revolver not being highly picked, you should build around your pistol, in my opinion. So we'll recover the 4 builds. This is basically a lot of talk to basically just add up. The first build is going to be your standard build for a hunter. Then we're going to talk about 3 specialty builds. Your power, by the way, is really important. And the reason why we want to mention this is because a lot of people play Amanda for her power and ignore her other 3 passives, which I think is incorrect. Now, 2 of these passives go hand in hand, and the other one you don't get access to till level 25. Once you are level 25, that accuracy count is huge. 2% stacking damage per hit. This can stack an obscene amount of times, but gets reset when you reload, which is important to note. So a lot of times, if you are very accurate with your weapon, you can benefit with your power, but at that point it's kind of overkill. Your power makes it so that it expands ammunition. One thing I do want to mention is it does slightly slow your rate of fire, in my opinion. If you're using a gun that has a high rate of fire, like the boomstick, the pistol, or the lever action, it's going to be slowed slightly, so it can't be as fast as you hammer the trigger. For your basic hunter build, you have 1 point in the long shot, which is necessary to open up the rest of the tree. And you're going to put your 4 points in the hollow points. This increases your ranged weapon damage from 50% to 75%. 1 point in the staying power to open up the rest of the tree. 3 points into Artful Dodger, so that you have your increase to your stamina. 3 points into Deadly Up Close, because it is the better of the options. You're likely to get bum rushed by the demon. This increases ranged weapon damage when targets are within 16 feet. And 4 points into Last Chance, which is going to make the last bullet in your gun deal 20% bonus damage. So, this is your generic build. Now you have 9 points left over. This is a generic hunter build. All of your hunters are going to have this build. No matter what, you want to run Deadly Up Close and Last Chance because the damage bonuses that they provide, while situational, are really strong. The only other real ranged weapon damage bonus that you can get, besides the headshot damage and Wig Splitter, would be Deadly from a Distance, which we will cover in a few minutes, and Deadly Up Close is better than that. Now, the next thing you have to note is we have 3 builds left to discuss. These 3 builds are going to be based around a couple of things. One is going to be based around your power with the pistol, which I will show you last. One is going to be based around your power without the pistol, with another type of weapon. And the other one is not going to be based around it. So it's important to note that on Amanda, if you are basing around your power, you need to figure out what weapon you want to use ahead of time. So a lot of people generally tend to take low ammo count, high damage options like the crossbow, the blunderbuss, hunting rifle, or a shotgun variation like the boomstick or the double barrel, because they can pop their power and just unload onto boss units. So if you are making a build that is based around one of the shotgun with your power, what you want to run is you want to run quicker cooldown so that you can reduce your cooldown on your ability from 90 to 81 seconds. It might not seem like a lot, but it's very important. Your remaining 7 points are going to be split. 3 points are going to go into long shot to increase the range on your weapons. You also want to make sure you can get access to the spread right here to reduce the spread so you can hit from a longer range. Now you have 1 remaining point which you can kind of throw around wherever you want to. That remaining point, in my opinion, you could either put into staying power or quicker picker-upper. Those are really the only options, in my opinion. It's kind of a trashy filler point. I don't like running this build. This is kind of like shotgun power build. Now, let's say you want to focus more on longer range precision as well. Something like a lever action, if you want to get the benefit out of accuracy counts, could be very good as well. So a longer range build that benefits you more would be building around the headshot and deadly from a distance. It's difficult to get both of these to mesh. You have to put your 1 point into quicker picker-upper, and you have to put your points here. You can realistically only split 3 ways. So you can get deadly from a distance up to 3, and you can get wig splitter up to 3. If you want to get that last point, you have to pull a point out of something else. So if you are looking to do this, you might want to consider pulling a point out of deadly up close or out of artful dodger. If you are looking for more of a range precision build, you could also just completely forego deadly up close instead. And if you did that, you would free up 2 more points to put wherever you want. Again, this does lean you more towards quicker cooldown, but now it makes it so that you have no close range damage bonus, which is pretty important in my opinion. Now the last build, the one that I'm currently running, is based around your pistol, because I do believe you should be playing around your pistol. So it does involve me using 1 point in quicker picker-upper, the 3 points into deadly from a distance. This gives me the ability to have good close range damage and good long range damage pretty evenly. Anything within that 16 to 32 feet range is not going to be taking the bonus damage from either of these, but I'm either going to be trying to get close or far away anyways, depending on what type of enemy it is. I'm next going to put a point into stopping power and 2 points into firm grip. This is going to reduce the recoil of my ranged weapon. The pistol is one of the only weapons in the game that has a high recoil because of its rate of fire, and I like to spam out shots with it. So because of that, I want to build into the recoil a little bit. Even if you have good aim, it is helpful when you activate your ability. My last 2 points are also going to be going into quicker cooldown. Of the options that I could put them into, the fear resist wouldn't be that great unless I can get up to tier 3. I don't really want light therapy. I could put 2 points into staying power, but that doesn't give me an extra dodge. You could put the 2 points into quicker picker-upper. That's a nice meme, but it's not necessarily that valuable. It doesn't affect revive speed. And while I could build into divide and conquer, the pistol doesn't have good dismemberment. I could build into stopping power, which would give me good balance bar damage. That is a build I would like to run if you find yourself not running out of ammo that much on the pistol. You could make a balance bar build with that, because the pistol, especially with your mastery, is really good for pop finisher. But you are using 2 shots from your gun as opposed to swing finisher, which is a lot more efficient. I could also put the 2 points in a wig splitter, but 10% bonus headshot damage is not that impactful compared to 25%. And I don't have the 2 points I want to spare. Unless you drop your 2 points out of deadly from a distance, in which case now you could just drop both of these, all of these points out here. That frees up 4 more points. So really you need to decide if you're hitting headshots or not. If you want to go for headshots, you can just drop this tree altogether. But I personally like running this for the damage range. So, that's my thoughts on Amanda, and the builds that I have for her. The next build that I'll probably be doing would be Henry. I only have 4 more Survivor builds to cover right now. And I might put out a separate video for balance changes and support Ash, but I'm not looking to do that tonight. So you might want to stay tuned for that later this week.